1959. Audrey Hepburn was lying in a hospital bed. She'd had another miscarriage. She'd lost her third baby. When the doctors left the room, Audrey was alone. She cried, silently, tears streaming onto her pillow. Reporters were waiting in the hallway. "How is Audrey? What happened?" Her manager said, "Everything's fine. She's just resting." But everything wasn't fine. Audrey wanted to be a mother. She would have given anything to have a child. But her body wouldn't let her. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications, because this is the story of how a woman's greatest dream was taken from her, the loss she experienced 5 times, and the real pain Hollywood never wanted to see. Audrey Kathleen Hepburn was born on May 4th, 1929 in Brussels. Her childhood started happy, but when she was 6, her father abandoned her. Audrey never got over this wound. "Maybe one day I'll have a child. I'll give them the love my father never gave me," she'd say. But then the war started, World War II. Audrey and her mother were trapped in the Netherlands. Nazi occupation, hunger, poverty. The winter of 1944 was the worst. During what was called the Hunger Winter, Audrey ate nothing but tulip bulbs for days. Sometimes she found grass to eat, sometimes nothing at all. She was 15 and her body was in its developmental stage, but starvation stopped everything. Her weight dropped to 92 pounds. Her bones showed through. She became anemic. Her hormonal balance was destroyed. In 1945, the war ended. The Netherlands was liberated, but Audrey's body wasn't free. The damage was permanent. Doctors said chronic anemia, weakness, hormonal imbalance. You need to be careful. Audrey asked, "Will it heal?" The doctor said maybe. But some damage may be permanent. Audrey started ballet training. She wanted to be a ballerina, but in 1948, the school rejected her. "You're too thin. Your physique isn't suitable for ballet." Audrey was devastated. Her first big dream had collapsed. She had a second dream, to be an actress. In 1951, she played a small role on Broadway. Then Hollywood called. In 1953, she won an Oscar for Roman Holiday. She became a star overnight. The world's most famous woman. She became an icon with Breakfast at Tiffany's. Everyone saw her as elegant, perfect, happy. But nobody knew Audrey's biggest dream still hadn't come true. She wanted to be a mother. In 1954, she married actor Mel Ferrer. Mel was handsome, talented, but controlling. Audrey didn't notice at first. They immediately tried to get pregnant, but it wasn't happening. Months passed, she couldn't conceive. They went to doctors. Tests were done. The doctor explained the results with a serious expression. "Miss Hepburn, the starvation you experienced during the war weakened your uterine walls. Pregnancy will be very risky." "Every pregnancy could endanger your life," Audrey said. "But I want to be a mother. Isn't there another solution?" The doctor shook his head. "If you're very careful, maybe, but I can't guarantee it." In early 1955, Audrey got pregnant. She was overjoyed. It was finally happening. She was very careful. She reduced her film work, stayed home, and rested. Mel said, "That's good, but don't rest too much. We need to make money." Audrey said, "Our baby is more important." The first 2 months were fine. Then, in the 3rd month, cramps started. Bleeding. They rushed to the hospital. Doctors intervened but couldn't save it. The baby was gone. Audrey's world collapsed. Why? Why was I so careful? The doctor said, "Your uterine wall isn't strong enough. It couldn't hold the placenta." Audrey asked, "Can I try again?" The doctor said, "Yes, but the same risk exists." Mel arrived at the hospital late. "I'm sorry, I was on set," he said. He hugged Audrey, but there was disappointment in his eyes. "Maybe the doctors are right. Maybe your body isn't ready for this." Audrey didn't respond. That night, alone in the hospital, she looked out the window. The lights of Los Angeles were shining. Millions of people lived there. Millions of happy families. Why not me? She thought. Why can't I be a mother? The studio called the next morning. The producer said, "Audrey, don't say anything to the press about this. Your image is grace, happiness, perfection. Tragic news like this ruins that image." "Fans don't want to see you sad," Audrey said, "but I really am sad. I lost my baby." The producer said, "We understand, but this is business. The Sabrina premiere is in a week. You need to look happy there." Audrey hung up. She even had to hide her pain. A week later, the Sabrina premiere. Audrey wore a red Givenchy dress. Makeup took hours. The makeup artist said, "Your eyes are swollen. You've been crying a lot. I'll need to use more concealer." Audrey looked in the mirror. She looked like a stranger, beautiful but empty. The limousine arrived. On the way to the premiere, Audrey looked out the window. She saw normal people, a mother coming out of a grocery store, carrying her baby. Audrey's eyes welled up. But she held back the tears. "My makeup will run," she thought. At the premiere, she walked the red carpet. Hundreds of photographers, thousands of fans. "Audrey, look here, smile." Audrey smiled. Flashes went off. Reporters thrust microphones forward. "Audrey, you look beautiful. Are you happy?" Audrey said, "Yes, I'm very happy." "A lie. When are you going to have children?" Audrey's face froze. But she smiled again. "I hope soon." Inside, she thought, "I hope you never ask again." While watching the film in the theater, Audrey saw herself on screen, laughing, dancing, looking happy. "That's not me." She thought, "That's a mask. The real me is the woman crying in the hospital." When the film ended, there was thunderous applause. Everyone stood up. Audrey stood too. Waved. Smiled. Acting. Always acting. In 1956, she got pregnant again. This time she was more careful. She turned down films, didn't get out of bed, just rested. Mel said, "You're overdoing it. You need to move around a bit." Audrey said, "No, I don't want to lose my baby." The first month was fine. The second month was fine. Every morning Audrey would wake up and check, "Am I still pregnant?" She'd touch her belly, talk to her baby. "Please stay. I want you so much. I'll be a good mother to you. Please don't leave me." But in the third month, bleeding started again. When Audrey went to the bathroom, she saw it. Panic, screaming. Mel ran in. "What happened?" Audrey said, "There's bleeding. The baby's going." They rushed to the hospital. Doctors intervened. But it was too late. The second baby was gone too. Audrey lay silently in the hospital bed. She didn't speak, didn't cry, didn't move. The doctor said, "Miss Hepburn, can you hear me?" Audrey didn't respond. She just stared at the ceiling. Empty. Hollow inside. This time, Mel was less patient. "Maybe you should accept it, Audrey. Maybe you can't be a mother. Maybe your body wasn't made for this." Audrey turned to him. Her eyes were wet, but her voice was cold. "You've never been supportive. I've had 2 miscarriages. You were late both times. While I was dying, you were thinking about your shoots," Mel said. "That's not fair. I'm upset too," Audrey said. "You're not upset. You're just angry." "Because I'm not what you want me to be." After Audrey got home, she fell into depression. She didn't get out of bed for days. She didn't eat, didn't talk to anyone. Just lay there staring at the ceiling. Mel said, "We need to see a doctor." Audrey said, "No, leave me alone." The studio called. "Audrey, are you ready for the new film?" Audrey said, "No, but you signed a contract." Audrey said, "I don't care. I can't make films." She hung up. 2 years passed. Audrey slowly recovered. She started seeing a psychiatrist. "I'm depressed. I need help." The psychiatrist said, "Great step. Let's talk." Months of therapy. Audrey confronted her past. "My father abandoned me. I starved during the war. I was rejected for ballet. Now I can't be a mother. Maybe I'm the problem." The psychiatrist said, "No, you're strong. The traumas didn't break you. You're still standing." In 1958, she got pregnant for the 3rd time. She wasn't hopeful anymore. She was scared. Every day she thought, "Am I going to lose it today?" Mel was completely indifferent now. Again? The same thing will happen, Audrey said. We don't know. Maybe this time will be different. Mel said it won't be. You won't accept it, but your body isn't ready for this. Audrey said, please be a little supportive. Mel said, I'm a realist. You're a dreamer. 3rd month, more bleeding. 3rd miscarriage. But this time, Audrey didn't cry. She just told the doctor, I knew it. What did you know? That this would happen? I can't be a mother. This is my fate, the doctor said. No, this is just a medical, Audrey said. Fate. God doesn't want to give me children. When she got home, Mel said, I told you. Audrey didn't even look at him. She silently went to the bedroom, locked the door. That night, she cried alone. 1959. Audrey was filming Breakfast at Tiffany's. She was famous, successful, but unhappy. Her marriage was falling apart. Mel was completely controlling now. He'd decide what Audrey wore. He'd interfere in which film she'd be in. He'd prevent her from seeing friends. You're my wife. You have to listen to me, he'd say. Audrey didn't respond anymore because she didn't have the strength to fight. That year she got pregnant for the 4th time. But everyone was pessimistic now. Doctors said this is very dangerous. Every pregnancy is endangering your life. The blood loss is too much. Next time you could die, Audrey said, but I want to try. The doctor said, this is like suicide. Audrey said, maybe it is. But I don't want to die without being a mother. In the 2nd month, bleeding started. It was severe. An ambulance came. Audrey was unconscious. At the hospital, she received a blood transfusion. Doctors said, she's critical. Does she have family? Mel said, I'm her husband. The doctor said, Miss Hepburn is dying. We need emergency surgery. Mel froze. She's dying? For the first time, he was scared. Please save her. The surgery lasted 3 hours. Audrey survived, but the baby was gone. When she woke up, Mel was beside her. His eyes were red. Audrey, I was scared. I almost lost you, Audrey said, but I lost the baby. Mel said, I don't care. You're alive. That's what matters. Audrey said, no, it doesn't matter. Because I can't be a mother, Mel said. That's enough, Audrey. The doctors are right. Next time, you'll die. Audrey said, maybe dying would be easier. But something changed. A new doctor examined Audrey. We can try hormone therapy. It's a new method. It could strengthen your uterine walls. Audrey asked, what are the chances? 50%. Audrey said, I'll try it. In early 1960, she started treatment. 3 months later, she got pregnant. 5th pregnancy. This time was different. The hormone therapy was working. For the first time, she reached the 2nd trimester. The 3rd month passed. Audrey couldn't believe it. 4th month came. 5th month. 6th month. Every day was a miracle. On July 17th, 1960, her son Sean was born. Cesarean section. Difficult birth. But Sean was healthy. Audrey took him in her arms and cried, I lost 5 times. I fought for 5 years. But you came. You're my miracle. The first night, she didn't put Sean down. She listened to his breathing. Are you still here? You won't leave? In the morning, she'd sing him lullabies. Slap Keenja slap. Sean would smile. Audrey would say, you don't know what I did for you. I died 5 times. I came back to life 5 times. All for you. In the 1980s, Audrey left Hollywood. I'm going to work for UNICEF. She went to Africa. In Somalia, she saw a little girl, 3 years old, but she looked like she was 1. She was dying of starvation. Audrey took her in her arms. The girl's mother said, please save her. Audrey said, I will, because I was like you. I was dying of starvation at 15 too, but I survived. Your daughter will too. For days she stayed with the girl. Water, food, medicine. The girl survived. The mother hugged Audrey. Thank you, Audrey cried. I thank you. I lost 5 babies, but today I saved yours. Maybe this is my purpose. In the fall of 1992, Audrey started experiencing abdominal pain. She went to the doctor. Tests were done. Colon cancer, advanced stage. Audrey asked, "How much time?" The doctor said, "Maybe 6 months." Audrey nodded. "I understand." She went to Somalia one last time. She hugged the children. "You gave me purpose," she told them. When she returned to Switzerland, Sean and Luca came. "My sons, my miracles." In her final months, she told them everything. "I had 5 miscarriages before you. For years, I felt like a failure. But then you came, and I understood I wasn't a failure. I was just waiting for the right time." Sean asked, "Where did you get your strength?" Audrey said, "I had no choice. Either give up or fight. If I'd given up, you wouldn't exist. That's why I fought." On January 20th, 1993, Audrey took her last breath. Sean and Luca were beside her. Her last words, "I love you so much." She was 63. Today, Audrey's story isn't just elegance. It's 5 miscarriages, depression, struggle. She showed that grace is dancing with pain, never giving up. She lost 5 times, but won in the end. And that was worth more than all the Oscars.